Welcome in to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you here. What an incredible couple of days we've had. Just beautiful day after day rally, really questioning the call that we've made here to flip bearish. You know, it doesn't take much of a price move to really shift the market sentiment. Am I still bearish? We're going to get into that in just a moment. But before we get into any of my opinions or otherwise on the markets, we got to get into a quick disclaimer. So let's take a look at that.
But before we get into the TA, just a quick reminder, this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and trading or investing in cryptocurrency comes with risks. Always do your own research and consult with a professional if needed. Any use of trading bots or strategies should be tested and fully understood before implementation. Stay smart, stay safe, and trade responsibly. Let's get into the charts.
All right, so Wyckoff distribution. We're still looking at this as a Wyckoff distribution. If you missed the last stream, basically we are looking at the alphanumerics wave here. It is shifted from green, which is our bull market bias, to red, which is our bear market bias. So we're starting to approach the market in a different way. We're looking at things in a bearish light. So let's just turn alphanumerics off for just a moment here. And let's get a test in the chat here. How many people are bullish? How many people are bearish? If you're bullish, write bull. If you're bearish, write bear in the chat. Let's see where sentiment is. Are we going to take out the highs? Are we going to continue to higher prices? Or are we getting ready to take that deep dive into the crypto abyss? What do you guys think? Let's hear it. Willie Orwoni, hey JT, loving your vids. Reminds me of the last cycle when I was a degen and lost everything. Sorry to hear that, but you know, scars will turn into profits eventually. You were the only voice of reason in a sea of noise. Unfortunately, I'm still a degen, so keep them coming. It's okay to be a degen at the right times. It's okay to be a degen at the right times. The thing is, it's a very short window of time in which being a degen truly works out, and we'll dive into that as well. Cali Trader, welcome in. Fist bump. The Fundy AU, good afternoon, sir. Goaty Fresh, Pepe, hell yeah. B-Man is bullish. Very short-term bear on the 4 hour coming from the Fundy AU. All right, so basically we started to get bearish once we took out this low here at around 91,000. We wicked all the way down to 298, sorry, and that flipped our bull market bias from bullish to bearish. Since that flip, I have been exiting about 50% of my cycle hold, not touching the hodl. Just to be clear, I'm still a Bitcoin maxi. I'm still very bullish on the market overall. I'm bullish on the cycle, but when certain parameters are hit, I need to take action. And one of those action items that I needed to take was if we hit that the bull market, if we switched a bull market bias to a bear market bias, I need to remove all leverage and just chill in spot and build up a little bit of cash so that I can wait through the turmoil that may or may not come. But up against this downward sloping line of resistance, we rallied right up to it. This is a newly established downtrend from the all-time high to this high right here. Currently getting rejection here on the daily candle. This is a fresh daily, so it can totally break out from here. But we're going to run under the assumption that this is in fact a point of rejection after 3 days of really bullish price action. Beautiful gray dragonfly doji right here, followed by a nice green candle and an even nicer green candle after that. So 3 days of bullish price action since our bias has flipped. How severe is the red candle going to be? Are we going to get a washout, or is this just on its way to higher levels? Taking a look at the RSI, we don't have a divergence here on the RSI. It is in confluence, so nothing noteworthy on that front. Let's take a look at the volume. Volume, nothing really noteworthy. No high volume signatures up against the resistance. That's a good thing. It means that not a lot of people are selling. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's go down to the lower time frames. Take a look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is also in confluence, so we're good there. All right, so I've taken shelter. I've taken a position of caution in the markets. What would I need to see for me to flip that bias back to bullish? Let's turn the volume off. For those wanting to know what this is a Wyckoff distribution schematic that we're referencing right here. We have pretty much all of the touch points that we're looking at inside of this schematic. So we're not out of the woods yet. The only saving grace is this consolidation is very small. It's only 60 days old. It's very, very small from a Wyckoff point of view. So if this does break to the downside, I don't think it's going to be a steep and sharp correction. I'm certainly not seeing this go to anything crazy like some other people are calling for 50K. I just don't see that happening. At the most extended level, we're looking at the $80,000 range, and that's the extended downside target for what I'm looking at right now. But if we turn alpha numerics back on, for us to flip back to bullish is about $108,000, which I am totally cool with. Up until this rally, today is the final day of my selling. I have sold, like I said, 50% of my swing trade position on this cycle. And so my cost basis is right at around $96,000. I've exited at about $96,000. That cost basis was entered at around, that entry was entered at a cost basis of 18K. So, you know, I'm sitting pretty. I'm way up on my original trade. We got in at 18, and I'm taking a conservative, safer position at 96K. If we take out the all-time high, currently sitting at 108,287, then that would flip my bias back to bullish, and I'll be right back along with everybody else. So it's just this very small gap here between 96 to 108, where I'm choosing not to be a market participant, choosing not to take on too much leverage. So that's kind of that's the thesis right now. It's the strategy doesn't have to be correct. It just has to do what you're trying to do, which is, you know, in the event of a meltdown, I don't want to be put into a position where I'm looking to close some of those trades at around 80. I'm going to take, you know, around that 100K level with confirmation of going back in on the trade at 110. I'm confused. So it was red and then it had an extreme gap bounce. So Nick Cosmic, every single time there is a dump, there will be a pump. Every dump has a pump. Look, dump, little bit of a pump. Dump, major pump. Dump, pump. Every pump has a dump, and every dump has a pump. So you shouldn't be surprised. Anytime there's an impulse move to the downside, there's going to be a reactionary move to the upside. So just because this, you know, people think TA, you got to realize that TA, it's just, we're looking at indicators here. So when certain parameters are met, certain action items need to be taken in. You need to do certain action items. So just because, you know, we hit a level that flipped the bias, that means that, you know, we need to take action. It doesn't mean that, you know, price is going to collapse from that point. There isn't a single indicator on the face of the planet that can truly tell you what the next candle is going to do. These are just tools that we use to develop a strategy so that we can position ourselves alongside the probabilities. Generally speaking, the probability of a downside move when the wave flips red is rather high. And that's a good segue into proving that point right now. Let's actually just go over to the weekly chart. And let's turn this onto logarithmic, go auto there. And pretty much every time we flip from green to red, there's a large reaction to the downside. So this was the all-time high of the prior cycle where it had a 50% correction when it went from green to red. Over here as well, when it went from green to red, We had another kind of 40% correction. Over here, it went from green to red. This was a big reaction for the bear market. 60% reaction after that. Over here, we went from green to red. Just a little one, only 10%. Green, red here, similar story, just 10%. Over here, we also had a very small one. This one, again, kind of 10%. So, you're looking in the range of this could be anywhere from 10% to 60%. I really, really, really don't think that we're going to see a 60% correction. It could be as low as a 10 or a 20% correction, or we can get what we got back here. So this was one of the very, very few times that this indicator was wrong. Just so happens to be the last time where it flipped from green to red and then immediately rallied off of that. And it rallied to the point of flipping it back to green. So it's not impossible for that to take place as well. And, when this happened, we took shelter and removed leverage and took a more conservative approach to the market. And as soon as it flipped green, boom, we were back in. And we got that beautiful move from that point up, 40%. So it's really not a big deal. It's really not a big deal when you make these moves because they happen in a very tight range. If it's going to end up being true, it's going to offer a lot of protection. If it's going to end up being false and a wrong signal, then you're not losing out on that much. Kind of think of it, if it does reverse to the upside here and we do break out and take out the high at 108, basically you paid a small percentage of your trade for insurance on that trade just to play it safe. And that's the way we like to do it here. We like to do a no bullshit approach to the market. We want everybody to be safe out there. So sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do. And I didn't want to do it. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm still macro bullish on this cycle. But when the parameters are hit and the market is telling me, hey, be careful, I just got to go ahead and be careful. That's all it really is. Willie Orwini is short-term bearish, very short-term bearish on the 4-hour. B-Man is bullish. Goaty Fish is bullish as well. And only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. We'll see how this plays out. Let's go down to some smaller time frames here. Let's turn alpha numerics off and just take a look at some of the price action. Let's see if we can get some clues here. So we do have a bearish divergence developing on the smaller time frames. The 4-hour and the daily did not show a bearish divergence, but the hourly and certainly the 15-minute are showing some bearish divergences. Those time frames are not powerful enough to really get us down to the swing low area. It would need to show up kind of on a 4-hour time frame for it to have kind of the strength needed to get it right back down to take out some of these lows here. So, when we're looking at the 15 and we're looking at the hourly, we're kind of looking at maybe a pullback to kind of 96, which is right back to my cost basis for exiting that position. So no real concerns on the lower time frames. They are showing bearish signs, but I just don't think they have the power that they need to bring us down to a new swing low. So it's really the 4-hour that we need to watch out for. The 4-hour starts to show anything bearish here. If we get a bearish divergence up against this downward sloping line of resistance, then that's going to be definitely a signal that we can come down and revisit the 94. And if we take out the low, at 89,298, then look out below. We're probably going to, the higher probability is going to be one of these three, with the highest probability being the middle level at the high 80s. The bullish case scenario would be a pullback to 87. The higher probability area for me would be 83. And the more extended bearish target would be down at around 80. If you are watching, please smash up the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we get these live streams out to more viewers. A lot of people they just play the YouTube game out there. I go on YouTube to offer you guys the most level-headed approach to the market that I possibly can. We don't take paid ads. We don't even monetize the YouTube channel. We don't take money from any source that would skew the messages that we're trying to bring out here. If you appreciate that type of content, please subscribe and like it so that more people can find this type of content, because we need to fight against the algorithm. The algorithm does not do me any favors when I'm particularly talking about bearish stuff. When I'm talking about bullish stuff, it's very easy to grow on YouTube. When I'm talking about the stuff that's really important, which matters to you in capital preservation, then, we got to fight the algorithm. So if you do agree with what I'm saying, hit the like button, do us a solid, do us a favor. Let's see how things are doing with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy in a holding pattern right now, a bullish holding pattern. We might continue to chop around this area for a couple days or so, something like that. And maybe, if we do pull back in Bitcoin, expect a pullback in MicroStrategy. But if we don't pull back and we get the breakout, then this would be the entry zone for a new trade if you're trading MicroStrategy, and we'll head up to higher and higher levels if that's the case. But we are on high alert for a pullback. We're on lower high alert right now. We have a high, we have a lower high, we have a lower high. So we're on high alert there for a pullback. Doesn't have to happen, but we're being very cautiously optimistic at this point. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Let's go to some higher time frames. Let's see how the health is doing on the weekly. Weekly might be a little too zoomed in. Let's go to the daily. Nice little gap up here on the S&P 500. Not sure what the news event would have been. I don't find that news helps me at all, so I don't really pay attention to the news. But anytime there's a gap up, there's bullish sentiment in the markets, and it's closed at a decent level. That's not a bad daily candle to gap up, not fill the gap, and just hold in a holding pattern right there. So I'd be watching for a breakout here on the S&P, maybe get a rejection up at that level as well. So do watch for this rounding over where we could get a rejection. I would expect if we did get a rejection, it would come back down to this pretty solid level of support right here at the prior high. So you'd be looking at about the 560 range here on the spider. Similar story here on the NASDAQ. If we zoom out, we got a kind of a support range. I'm going to say over here, a little bit of a choppier range. The market is not as bullish on these higher risk assets as it is on the lower risk assets. The S&P 500 represents kind of more of a conservative approach to the market, and the structure is very clean and easy to read here on the S&P. NASDAQ is a lot more choppy, but it's a similar structure nonetheless. So we got this kind of downward sloping line of resistance. If we butt up against that resistance, get a rejection, I'd be looking down here at around 20,000 on the NASDAQ for a recovery. Let's see how good old shiny pet rock is doing. Shiny yellow rock is in a holding pattern as well. This is a very bullish structure, by the way. I like what I'm seeing here on gold. Doesn't mean we can't retrace inside of this pattern, maybe get a retest back there before a breakout. Like I said, I'm overall bullish on the market. We're just, approaching the market with a conservative lens, given the local price action that we've seen and how it has historically performed under that context. But gold is looking really, really good. And let's take a look at some of the ones that people are most excited about. Let's take a look at XRP having a breakout. XRP is on a breakout. The banker's coin, if we can even call it that. The banker's coin is on a breakout. Will it hold? Will it confirm? Let's see if Bitcoin has the ability to break out here. Bitcoin's really the DJ here, but real clean breakout. Nice volume on this one too. Nice little volume spike here on the daily. So a breakout's a breakout. If this is able to hold and Bitcoin is able to rally, then XRP is definitely going to be given permission to rally in that context. So if Bitcoin cooperates, XRP is definitely going to continue its rally. which is good. Let's take a look at XRP on the Bitcoin pair. That's the only pair that I care about. The slaves like to look at XRP on the dollar pair, but the Bitcoin maxis like XRP on the freedom currency. Similar story. Breakout on the Bitcoin pair as well. Breakout on the Bitcoin pair as well. Doesn't matter if you're an advocate for slavery or an advocate for freedom. You're looking good on the XRP chart. Let's take a look at Cardano USD. Not as bullish on the dollar pair. What are we working with? Just we'll keep it simple. You know what? Forget that. Forget that. Let's put a channel on this one. It's choppy. It's not the cleanest. It's not the prettiest, but that's kind of that's the general range that I would be looking at for Cardano. So if we can get a breakout, again, Bitcoin needs to cooperate. Don't think that your altcoin can deviate from the performance of Bitcoin. It's never happened before, so I don't know why it would happen now. But yeah, it's looking good here for price continuation if we can get a breakout here on Cardano. Let's take a look at Sol. Or no, let's take a look at Cardano BTC. Got to compare it to the freedom currency. And it's not bad. I like where it's sitting. So we could see something nice here in Cardano in the coming weeks. It could break the downtrend in Bitcoin and begin to outperform. It needs to get above, it needs to get above 158 sats per ADA. Is that right? 1,500 sats per ADA. And if it can do that, then we'll just continue our merry little way. Next kind of resistance point here on Cardano is going to be up here. Get past that and boom, we're off to the races. And it's kind of setting up for a little bit of an altcoin season. I'm just, like I said, cautiously optimistic. The market is very bullish. The market has very high expectations for Donald Trump. And usually the market's wrong. So it wouldn't be uncharacteristic if we were to see just one final go fuck yourself. One final just dump, just real painful, max pain. I thought we were supposed to pump. Why are we dumping? Kind of shift in sentiment. And when everybody's really afraid and when everybody's out of positions and sitting in cash because they are just so confused as to what's going on, I think that'll be the point. That'll be the point in which we truly transition into altcoin season, because this rotation is getting ripe. This rotation into alts is getting ripe. So we need to be on high alert, not only for downside price targets, but we need to be on high alert for the upside price potentials that are setting up. We got some stuff setting up here. Solana USD. Let's go over here. Where's my Solana? There it is. Solana USD. Nice little breakout. Nice little retest. Very clean structure here on Solana USD. Solana is definitely my #1 pick for the altcoin season. It's just got an incredible amount of strength. We don't need this anymore. We can get rid of that. Just an astounding amount of strength in Solana, way more than what we're seeing in Ethereum. We'll take a look at Ethereum as well, but Solana is just such a beauty setup. Let's take a look at Solana BTC. That's where the real exciting stuff happens. I really want to encourage you guys to start paying attention to the Bitcoin pairs. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's all about the Bitcoin pair. It's all about the Bitcoin. You want to know when altcoin season starts? It's when altcoins really start to break out of these long-term formations on the Bitcoin pair. Breakouts on the dollar fail all the time. Breakouts on Bitcoin are usually very high conviction, high liquidity events. If you want to know when the breakout is really confirmed, it confirms on the Bitcoin pair. That's a piece of advice that I can give to a lot of people, which is it's hard to wrap your head around. When people come into this market, they either come from stocks or they come from Forex or wherever they're coming from. They never think about what the true currency is in this ecosystem. Bitcoin is the number one cryptocurrency. It is the currency that everybody wants. It is the currency that everybody saves in. And to not make your analysis decisions against the currency that all of the real players in this space are measuring against is a mistake. It's a big mistake. So what you're looking for is a breakout here on the Solana pair. Once we break out of this consolidation, I'm going to be so bullish. I'm going to be so long Solana. Solana is the one for me. But like I said, we're on high alert right now with the short-term price action because Bitcoin is just not, it's not cooperating in the way that we want it to cooperate. Now, Ethereum BTC, and let's go Ethereum USD first so that it can look a little nice because I don't have very many nice things to say about Ethereum. Ethereum has been a cesspool of despair and one of the worst assets that you could hold. You could do worse. You could be holding something ridiculous like, Hex or Pulse Chain or Litecoin. But Ethereum has been a serious underperformer and just, man, it's got nothing. It's got nothing noteworthy. Nothing noteworthy at all. Getting a lot of lag here. It's struggling to load the charts. But basically from the bear market lows, I'm going to assume this is the bear market lows, to where we are right now, 200%. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. 283% from the highs. There's the bear market low. From the bear market low to the local high, 364% for Ethereum. That's pretty embarrassing when we take a look at Bitcoin. And, it's Ethereum is supposed to be outperforming Bitcoin. That's its whole thing, right? And Bitcoin's done double that. It's done double that. Like not quite double, but, 596% on Bitcoin, 300% on Ethereum, 360% on Ethereum. Things aren't loading very easily for me. Wondering why that is. We still live? We're still live. All right. Let's take a look at Ethereum on our favorite chart to take a look at. You all know it. It's Ethereum BTC. This is just trending to exactly where I said it was going to trend. It's going to 3 million sats. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's going to 3 million sats. It's at 3.3 million sats right now. It's going to go to 3 million sats. So it's not done its downtrend just yet, in my opinion. This is going to come down to 3 million sats. It'll kick around there for a while. Then it will finally break this downward sloping line of resistance. And when it does, will be the best time in the last couple of years to buy Ethereum. But that has not happened yet. So if you've been hodling Ethereum for this whole bull market, I'm sorry. Come into the Discord. We'll hug it out. We'll hug it out in the Discord. We're here to help. I don't want people feeling too upset. So we'll try and help any way that we can. What do I think about the expected pump during Trump's inauguration? If it pumps, it'll dump. If it dumps, it'll pump. There will be volatility on that day. Please don't use leverage on that day. It'll be a wild whipsaw on that. And, it's everybody's expectation. I've said it a couple times here already on the channel. Everybody expects it. And because everybody expects it, Everybody is bullish on the Trump inauguration. I just don't think it's going to be bullish. You got to take the other side. I just don't think it's going to be a bullish event. I think it is going to be a sell the news event. Everybody is expecting positive price action. Therefore, it will not be positive. 108K, that is the target to beat. That is the target to beat. It's priced in. 108K priced in or what? Not sure what you mean. Not sure what you mean. But the expectation is just too high for performance on the day that Trump takes office. So here's what I think will go. What I think will go down. Trump will get into office, and he's not going to talk about crypto. He's going to take the stage. There's going to be executive orders, and he's not going to even mention Bitcoin. He's not going to mention crypto. When he doesn't mention it all day, there's going to be some weakness in the markets. When he doesn't mention it the next day and the day after that and doesn't talk about it for a week, you're going to see a dump because the expectation is price performance. And when he does not deliver on that, then you'll see a dump. Hello from California. Bitcoin class of 2013. Well done, Jeff Long. OG in the house. Welcome to the chat, my friend. 2013. So this individual right here knows all about running a node because he couldn't even get a Bitcoin wallet that wasn't running a node back then. So kudos to you. Did you do any mining as well? Were you in that space mining at all? Did you end up in Mount Gox? Did you lose any money to Bitfinex? Give us a story, man. Welcome to the chat. Hang out in the Discord if you aren't already in there. Yes, you could. Coinbase. Oh, okay. All right. Coinbase is easy enough. Coinbase is easy enough. Wow. 2013. Coinbase is OG, man. Coinbase is an OG. All right. Let's take a look at some obscure plays. Let's take a look at kind of my 2025 bull market list. What do we got? Caspa BTC showing up. Let's take a look at Caspa on the dollar pair, just for funsies. Choppy range, man. Choppy range. Let's go over to the 3-day chart. Alpha Numerics is on. What are we looking for? We bullish, we bearish. Load, damn you, load. We're bearish on the, we have a bear market bias here for Alpha Numerics. What do we need to hit? What do we need to hit? We need to get above 17 cents. If we can get above 17 cents, then it'll flip back to bullish. It's done a lot of chop in this range. Now, part of that has to do with the absolute insane gains. Now, everybody gets super excited when something's gone up really, really high, and you know, that's cool. Like it's like nice to get excited about that. 9,000% from where we're from the lows to where we are right now, and an eye-watering 13,000% to the all-time high. This is a double-edged sword, though. Millionaires were minted. Many millionaires were minted, and those millionaires were smarter than you because they got in all the way down here and they're ready to dump on your ass. So if you get excited about Caspa, guess what? You're going to be selling. You're going to be buying your coins from those who are selling, and those whales have made a shit ton of money. They've made life-changing money. They're going to buy houses. They're going to buy cars. They might even be buying boats. That's a lot of liquidity to leave. So just be aware. This is a choppy consolidation. Looks very, very similar to what we're seeing on Bitcoin. Where did my my distribution is gone? Come on. Can I type? Our distribution is gone, but you know, very distributional vibes, very distributional formations here. You know, preliminary supply, buyer's climax, automatic reaction, up thrust, sign of weakness, up thrust, just lots of up thrusts. You know, the easiest way for you to identify a distribution is how many up thrusts are in the consolidation. And when you look at the up thrusts, what have we got? We've got, I'm gonna say that's not an up thrust. I'm gonna be generous. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up thrusts in this consolidation. Whales are selling. That's what distribution means. And people get confused. Like, why would a whale be selling when we break out? We're talking about position sizes that are so large. Like, you as a retail investor with your, couple grand in crypto, you can buy whenever you want. You can buy whenever you want. You can sell whenever you want because the liquidity is available for you. But if you're a Caspa whale sitting on $100 million, guess what? You can't sell whenever you want because there aren't enough buyers for you to sell to. The only days that you can even physically sell, like you end up trapped in your position. The only days that you can physically sell are on bullish days. So because the only times that you can sell are bullish days, what happens? You get a breakout. Okay, the market's bullish. I can sell some. You retrace right back down. It gets bullish again. Oh, hey, we're bullish. I can actually sell. You sell, it comes back down. So that's what an up thrust is. An up thrust is a whale selling. And it's not manipulation. It's not malicious. It's just the fact that they have no choice. They can only offload their shares when the market is bullish and demand is high. It's really that simple. A lot of people call a lot of manipulation in these markets. I don't subscribe to that. I understand if you've ever been in an illiquid shitcoin before, you'll know that you can't just sell. It's not possible to sell all the time. So you have to sell when you can. And when you can is during breakouts. The breakouts are the time at which you can sell. Are you day trading crypto or swing trading? You could call it day trading, although I don't trade every day. So primarily, like all of my short-term trades, I've allocated to the bots at this point. I've got my long-term holds. I've got my swing trade position plays, intercycle plays. So really long swings. My last swing was from 18K to 96. So really, really long time horizon swings. And then the short-term stuff, I'm honestly not doing that much because the strategies that I use for the short-term stuff, we've automated. So I've given it to the bot. This is probably a good opportunity to share that information with you. Let me just pull it up here. So this is, if you're new, I don't know, maybe you're new, maybe you're not, but we've got a couple different bots here. So I've got a couple versions of Bang Box trading scalps. I've got the MRI Swing Box, which is kind of trading breakouts, all with different risk parameters and different margins. This one's using Tether. This one's using Bitcoin. And that's just taking care of all the short-term stuff, which is great because it allows me to focus on the community. It allows me to focus on YouTube. It allows me to focus on other things because Matt and I, we've designed all of our strategies to just put them into the bot and let it do it for us. Matt still likes to be quite hands-on. I'm taking the same trades the bot would have taken, so I just let the bot do it. H-bar, haven't heard that one in a while. Let's take a look at H-bar. Oh, the bots are free, by the way. If you guys go to blackbox.pro, we're just to let you know, you guys are watching this in real time, but if you're watching the replay and you go on the website and it looks completely different, we're doing a complete reskin of the dashboard. It's going to look completely different. So if you're watching this at a later date and it's all black and just looks totally different, you're in the right spot. It's just different. We're releasing that in the next couple of days internally, and there will be a public release announced very soon. Check your inboxes and check the Discord for updates. So yeah, go to blackbox.pro, blkbox.pro, sign up for free. You just a username and password. Boom, you're in the dashboard. Sign up with any of our exchange partners and connect them via an API, and the bots are free. You You get to use them as much or as little as you want. We get a small commission from the exchange. These are the same fees that if you're trading on Binance, if you're trading on KuCoin, if you're trading on Bybit, the fees are exactly the same. We're not taking more fees than any of those other exchanges. If you're trading on Coinbase, you're paying more in fees. But yeah, go check it out. blkbox.pro. HBAR. Oh, we're on HBAR. We're looking at HBAR. Day trading doesn't mean daily? Then yeah, we do day trading, but the bots do it. Depends who you talk to. Everybody has a different opinion on what is a day trade? What is a swing trade? You know, some people think a swing trade's like, 1 or 2 weeks. For me, it's multiple months for a swing trade. Everybody's got their own style. Not too shabby, HBAR. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Nice little tight range here. We've got a bull flag. Let's go down to the daily. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. The green wave is in our favor. We've got lots of room before we would flip our bias. HBAR looks good, my friends. HBAR looks good. Let's kind of put some trend lines here. No. Let's go with something like that. Let's see what the candlesticks say. Let's go with something like that. Yeah, it's getting ready for a breakout too. Yeah, this is looking bullish. Let's see, you get the real confirmation with the Bitcoin pair. If you aren't looking at the Bitcoin pair, start looking at the Bitcoin pair. That's the truth. You will have far more success. It doesn't matter if you don't calculate your portfolio in Bitcoin. You just get so much more confirmation when you're looking at it on the Bitcoin pair. And this is setting up for a breakout as well. Beautiful chart on HBAR. Beautiful chart on HBAR. Yeah. Who said that? Xiao AI. Get into the Discord, my friend. Share some alpha. Spread the love. Spread the love. EVR. I don't even know that one. Evermore? That one's not as good. Okay, it must be this one. Must be this one. Let's figure out what this one is. EVR. Evernode. Which one is it? Is it Evernode? Evermore? Let's go with Evernode. That's it? Evernode? Or Evernode. Florida class of 2011. Fortune favors the bold, my friend. Trevor Cole. Holy smokes. Class of 2011. Man. 2013. Very impressive. Don't want to take that away from you, Jeff Long. But we are in the presence of greatness here. 2011. My God. I heard about Bitcoin in 2011. And you know what I thought? Don't we have PayPal? What do we need that for? We got PayPal. What do we need internet money for? It's literally what I thought. That's a flashback to one of the worst clues to look into something in my life. So Evernode, interesting. Let's take a deeper look. Its supply is only allocated by the nodes. Sounds like it's got some pumpamentals. What else? This is a terrible website. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Start hosting, start developing. Start developing what? This is your landing page? What am I developing? DPIN? Decentralized physical infrastructure. Okay. Interesting. Is the white paper going to be? Nah, forget that. Forget the white paper. Well, they must be doing something right because they sure aren't doing marketing right. This is a terrible landing page. It's not telling me anything. Oh, it has to do with XRP. All right. Cool. Well, they're doing something right. They're doing something right. The website is fine. Zero marketing. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive. Zero marketing. Zero marketing and still a 500% rally off that breakout area. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, well, we'll add that one to the list. We'll add that to the watch list. Why not? We'll keep an eye on that one for you. Oh, how is Track doing? Track. I love Track. I love me some Track. But the Track don't love you back. A lot of the community members in Track listen, you know, it's across the board for the entire ordinal space. Ordinals are just not ready. They're not ready. Doesn't matter what you look at. They're just, the setup is not there. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in ordinals. I don't know if you guys heard the news with NAT token. Didn't move the price, but NAT. Oh, I actually can't get NAT here. I got to go to Ordinals wallet. DMT NAT. The NAT token, when they did the block out, anybody that inscribed got, you know, an allocation to NAT tokens. But what was happening is bots were being created, and the bots were taking all of the NAT tokens and they were selling them on the market. So what Track and the developers over at Block Runner are doing now is they are directing the rewards, the new rewards of the NAT token over to the miners so that bots cannot game the system and just sell on the market and suppress the price. This, in my opinion, you know, again, ordinals are they're not doing a whole lot of much, but the fundamentals are definitely lining up for ordinals. And this is not financial advice, but, you know, if you're bullish at all on NAT, this is a good area to scoop some up, because once that supply is cut off, once these bots no longer have the ability to sell at the floor of NAT, and all of the rewards are going to the miners that may or may not even know that they're receiving those awards, it's going to be a very different market dynamic. It's going to be very different supply and demand. So, yeah, just a heads up on that. So, you know, there is stuff brewing in the Track Tap ecosystem, but is it doing anything to price? No. We're still downtrend, aggressive downtrend. It's slowing down, but yeah, it's just not the time. Just not the time. Not yet. Ultra utility AF. Its supply is only allocated by the nodes. Well, that's similar to how Bitcoin works in a sense. So it's kind of like a proof of stake mining in a sense. Interesting. That's my main gripe. Opinion about Solana AI coins. AI is pretty overhyped right now. One that I have been watching is what's going on with Spore. Spore.fun. I think. Spore.fun. This is kind of an interesting one, but the thing is, the AI stuff, like it's already overhyped. It's already overhyped. This is, I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be perfectly honest with you. So, this AI agent gave birth to Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve gave birth to, view more children. And it just goes on from there. So it's an AI that is launching tokens. Cool, but why? And then people are speculating on these tokens. So it's just like a new way of creating tokens. And I just don't know what it's all for outside of just pure speculation. But yeah, the AI piece, listen, I'm probably the wrong person to form a very good opinion on AI, because AI is not new to the crypto space. It's been around for a very long time. It's been around as long as I've been in the space. We've been talking about AI to some degree or another. And honestly, I just don't think that we're there yet. I don't think AI is at the point where it needs to live on a blockchain. I don't think AI is at the point where it's doing much. Now, obviously, we're trending in that direction. This could be argued that this is some sort of, way to create more AIs that have distinct, characteristics, and those characteristics are unique and they're not pre-planned by a developer. So that's fascinating, but I just don't think the technology is where it needs to be. I don't think we're quite there yet. And I still think that centralized entities are going to do a far better job of creating AI agents than a crypto project or an AI that's going to make itself AI agents. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about AI stuff, but I am good at market sentiment. And my personal belief is AI is a little overhyped right now, and it's very diluted. This is a perfect example of how diluted it is. It just keeps on going and going, and you can see like every time a new AI is born, there's new liquidity going to that coin. That's a lot of dilution. And I think the dilution is expanding at a higher rate than the actual demand that's hyping it up. So that's an imbalance of supply and demand, in my opinion. And it's much more skewed to the supply side. So I think we're seeing a boom. There will be a bust, and out of the bust, we'll see true value. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Ripple funded the project. Okay. Done my shill. Pump those bags, man. Pump those bags. Thanks for checking out HBAR and Evernode subbed. Welcome to the family. Do one better. Get into the Discord, my friend. Always enjoy your streams and insight. Thank you, Road Dog. Controversial question. Given we are recalling to the good old day, any thoughts on the effects of the ETF, the big funds buying mining pools, and the centralization of BTC, future stability, etc.? Really good question. So as it stands right now, you have successfully identified a vulnerability inside of Bitcoin consensus, and that's the centralization of hash rate. But we are moving away from that. It's not the current reality. So it's kind of like an arms race between decentralization and centralization. But to kind of put it simply, right now, the miner pool code runs on a protocol called Stratum. And what's been in development for a very long time and actually being adopted by certain mining pools like Ocean is called Stratum V2. And basically, when you are a miner and you join a pool, the pool decides the block header, and they decide which transactions are valid and which transactions are invalid. So they're basically, in a sense, in control of the overall hash rate assigned to that pool. And that's a problem. because, you know, if you get two mining pools that make up 51%, there can be an attack on Bitcoin. But what's happening is we have mining pools like Ocean, which is operating right now. And Ocean gives the ability for the miner to create their block header. I'm going to try and get an example of this Bitcoin mining pool diagram. Bitcoin mining pool diagram. Let's see what pops up with that. Hash rate distribution on blockchain.com. That sounds right. All right. So we have Ant pool, F2 pool. This represents unknown pools. It's not one pool that's unknown. It just represents all the unknown pools. Mara, via BTC, all of these represent a pool. But, you know, Ant pool might have 1,000 different mining companies all pointing their miners to that pool. So under Stratum V1, it's a problem because Ant pool is in control of the block headers. But under Stratum V2, Ant pool is not a big pool. It gets divided into 1,000 pieces. It goes back to the miner. So once we fully transition into Stratum V2, you're not going to see these pools that have ownership over the network. You're going to have the miners have ownership over the network. And there's thousands of miners, thousands and thousands of miners, thousands of mining companies, and they will all represent, you know, we're not going to have a pie chart of 6 entities. We're going to have a pie chart of 6,000 entities, and it's going to go back to being fully decentralized. The thing that I'm concerned about, and now we're going to get into the conspiracy theory of things, is I'm concerned about a Bitcoin fork. I'm concerned about a Bitcoin fork where BlackRock is manipulating consensus and manipulating nation states like the US, like, you know, the European Union, whatever, whoever gets on board with BlackRock's ETF or whoever gets on board, you know, mining towards BlackRock's intentions. At that point, the vulnerability becomes, is BlackRock going to fork Bitcoin? And you have to choose between the BlackRock version of Bitcoin and the decentralized version of Bitcoin. And the BlackRock version of Bitcoin is going to have all of these features that are going to allow for totalitarian oversight. But the kicker is, this is the one that goes up. That's going to be the real test, is what if the BlackRock coin is the one that continues to rally? Why would it rally? Because the US is going to point to that one. They're going to contribute to that one. They're going to be buying those coins. The EU or Canada or any other nation state might be, you know, in a trade agreement with BlackRock to point their hash power to the new chain, and BlackRock could hijack the hash rate and consensus. That's much more of a concern to me, because basically it's taking control of freedom technology, forking it into something that suits their service, and leaving behind the real Bitcoin, and allowing that one to have a lot of people lose faith in it, because greed is what runs this market, right? The miners aren't going to point there because, you know, not all the most miners are there to make dollars. They're not there to support freedom. That's a big vulnerability, but you know, that's just some tinfoil hat stuff. Food for thought, something to watch out for, and something to advocate against if that ever came to be. But yeah, that's more of a threat, in my opinion, than the centralization of mining pools, because that's an issue that's already being worked on, and it's not going to be an issue for much longer. Most of those AI agents will rug. Yeah, it might even, you know, and then, you know what the funny thing is they'll just be like, well, the AI decided to rug. The AI decided to rug. It's not us. We didn't do it. The AI decided to rug. Who are you going to blame? The AI. So it's kind of a sneaky way to rug people. Most are scams as well as the rugs. Yeah. Thoughts on ADA? Well, we covered it from a technical point of view. I don't fundamentally support any proof of stake chain, just to be perfectly clear. So my opinions on the network skew in the direction of me supporting proof of work across the board. I'm happy to talk technicals. I'm happy to talk trading. But for me, full stop, if you are a proof of stake network, I am against you. That sounds really cool. Stratum V2. We are not moving away from centralization, the regulations of miners for consolidation, the players. Yeah. But the thing is, you got to think of the game theory of Bitcoin too. So if mining pools do centralize and certain countries, let's say the US decides to have a real large amount of hash rate on the network and they decide to sanction transactions from Russia, what does that force Russia to do? It forces them to up their hash power. If any time any nation gets blocked, they're going to invest funds into infrastructure so that they can run their own pools that allow them to get their own. There we go. How long was I out? Man, that sucks. That sucks. I wonder, it's just for no reason. No reason. So where did I leave off? Where did I cut out? Sorry, guys. Anyways. I guess the best way around that would be to swap off SHA-256 and switch scripts or something like that. The catch would also be that they would have a stack of the coins from the ETFs that they could dump. I don't think you need to change hashing algorithms. They would probably just change. They would probably just fork for a stupid reason that, you know, we have an optimized script or something. But the thing is not the fork. The thing is they're going to have manipulation over who supports the fork. And it's them having manipulation over who supports the fork that really concerns me. Lost audio when you started talking about Russia. There you go. It's not my equipment. It's not my equipment at all. This is what happens when you live stream and talk about Russia. Do not go there. But basically what I was saying is there's a balance of power there. So, you know, if one entity becomes too powerful and holds too much controlling force of the network, it incentivizes everybody else to beef up their infrastructure so that they don't hold that much power. So there's a game theory with the power dynamics. The balance of power will always be incentivized through transactional access. You were saying they can run their own pools. Yeah. Thanks for the objective analysis. Best YouTuber out there. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate those kind words. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. How we're doing with Little Bitty. Yeah. No dump yet. No dump yet. And if there's no dump yet, the rally continues. Higher highs and higher lows. Until we start to take out some of this structure, the assumption is higher levels, which will break us above this red line of resistance. Put this line on your charts, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I think that's it. I think that is it. Nothing else really to cover. Some nice philosophical discussions. I like to share my opinions on that. Let me know if you guys have counter opinions. And if you're watching the replay, you post them down in the comments section down below. I think we will wrap it up. So if you guys aren't already in the Discord, go to blkbox.pro. Join community. You can join community here. You can sign up and get access to the dashboard. And once you're in the dashboard, you have the Join Discord tab right down here. We can continue the conversation over there. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with anybody that you think would find value. One thing that sets us apart is the fact that we don't, our words are not paid for. Our words are not paid for. Nobody pays us to shill their project. I get emails pretty much every single day saying, hey, can we give you $5,000 and you do this and you talk about our coin on your show? And I give them the exact same reply. Well, maybe not every time, but a lot of times it's somewhere along the lines of go fuck yourself. So if you find value in that, an honest YouTuber giving honest opinions, they may not always be right, but they're coming at you with the right incentives. Then hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with your friends, do all the things. Thank you all for joining in, and please trade safe. It is jungle out there. Peace.